That's right, the GG.Bet Ice Challenge here in London, 50,000 big ones on the line, and today we're looking to send one of these teams on into the finals. It's going to be Heroic and Navi, and I'm going to be Trace, and this is going to be Henry. As we look to get into the second map of this series, it's going to be Mirage. We just saw Train go in the way of Navi off the back of a pretty stellar first half performance, definitely helping them to propel to that winning moment. But in this case, it's a new map, and what are we expecting, Henry?
Well, it is going to be Mirage, and this is going to be Heroic's pick, of course. So, yes, their CT side, as predicted, looked good on Train. We need to see more of that on Mirage, but it's the T side is where they're really struggling right now. But luckily for them, Navi are so up and down on this map, it might be a bit of a gimme for them. The third map, Inferno, might be coming through. We will see. But I do expect Navi, if they continue the form we saw on the first map, that's the problem with this team right now. It's the consistency. They can look lights out like they just did, or we can see a performance from yesterday. I'm going to assume it's the former just because it's a new day. They seem fresh today, and it's just the attitude. Did you see when they left the cage before? Yeah. Finally, like I said, I don't speak the language, obviously, but I could see just the body language of saying, that's how we should be doing it. That's more like what we're used to, and we look like a team now instead of the mess that was presented yesterday. So that's why I feel like they should be fine here in a good frame of mind to actually find the 2-0.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty fluent in Russian, but not really.
Yes,
so at the same time, I could also tell by the body language that these guys definitely have that sort of mesh and gel that you're talking about. And it's been a wild ride for this team. They've been together for a long time, and some of these guys are definitely veterans in their own right. And, of course, trying to steer this Navi ship back into the port it belongs in. As they do head into the major. But for now, they're trying to just put Mirage away and find themselves a spot in the grand finals. If you're joining us in the audience today, welcome. This is a big moment. These are very, very influential players and very much in the big picture of things here. This is where things start to get spicy. Right on the eve of sending one of these teams into the grand finals. A knife round will kick it off here on Mirage to determine what side each of these teams start on. Now, what do you think beneficially will happen here should you win the knife round?
Mirage is one of those maps where we have 7 maps available to play in CSGO, and some of them are CT-sided, some of them are balanced, and one of them is T-sided. Mirage is somewhere in the middle. It doesn't really matter which side you start, but ideally, most teams prefer to go on the CT side because you get to post yourself a score, see what the opposition are going to present tactically, especially if you know you're up against maybe someone who's not as prepared, like Heroic, for example. So if you're Navi, definitely want to start CT, build up a nice double-digit half, and then be able to win a pistol and close things out and apply the pressure to them because you've got the lead going into that second half. The problem is right now, the AWP looks so good for Simple, and Mertz had one good half, but he dropped off in the second. We need to see him stand up strong here, and the problem is, if you have a really rough half and you close it out with 10 rounds in a row, he didn't really get many shots going on, your confidence is going to be low, and Simple, we saw from his highlight clips, he is at a peak right now. He is looking incredibly good, great movement, good awareness, and it seems like he's everywhere on the map. He was up a ramp, connector towards Ivy, pushing, and that's what we need the top AWPers to do. Mertz can't be rattled by that. He can keep up frag for frag. We'll see whether he can actually get the money built up. That can always be an issue as well. If you lose a few disastrous rounds on the CT side and have to go down to those SMGs or pistols, it can all fall apart very quickly. I would say Heroic need a strong start here. They cannot afford to go down 6-1 to the likes of Navi like they did on Train. Yeah,
Mertz is definitely a character that I want to see come online here on Mirage. He was a crucial part of their successes thus far in the tournament. He's having a great showing himself, and he needs to come alive here to keep the dreams alive of Heroic. Albeit the dreams right now of Navi will be to get inside of this bomb site and get a plant down at the very least. Should they not be able to win the round, that will be a marginal success going forward so they can start to build their economy game. But as it stands, it's only going to be Freiberg set up here towards the catwalk area. He will be that first and only line of defense as the flash rain out on the B site. Freiberg trying to stop them, can't seem to land much damage. Finally, Flamey shuts his hopes down, and the bomb will be planted with relative ease.
Well, there we go. This is going to be an incredibly difficult round now for Heroic. How do you even begin the procedure of the retake? You've got no kits, no utility, but you have got some headshots. Blamev coming around the corner, proving himself to be a fantastic frag at this tournament, brings it into at least a winnable situation, but the aggression keeps coming through. Edward finding headshot after headshot, and it's just a brutal affair towards that B bomb site. So let's break that one down. That would be called a contact B play, not a B rush. They go to the B apartment. They've committed almost every single player towards that position. They're waiting for any initial smoke or an incendiary. Sometimes gets brought up on the CT side for the pistol, and they're waiting for any reactions there. They didn't detect a thing. They challenged together, and as you pointed out, Freiburg towards shore by himself with that P2000. That is a great weapon, one-tap potential, but if you get overwhelmed on multiple targets, it can be very difficult to manage, and the retake without the kits, without the utility, was always going to be very difficult. We go into a force buy from Heroic. S-Tag, this time with the Scout.
S-Tag with the Scout will be the only rifle purchased, but these grenades could prove to be detrimental later in the game. I can only imagine that they're going to go now and try to get a kill here, and they might find two, and they do. They take down Zeus and Edward with conviction there at the top, and now they're going to try to flex over towards the B side and bring this round back, and they're going to be doing it. Flamey finding two himself. Simple on the board, too. So now Mertz and S-Tag. Already a pretty successful round. Should they find another kill, it'll be pretty good for Heroic here in a round that is likely not to go their way, and probably just going to back off at this point.
Problem is, yes, I do agree with you. It's successful to an extent, but with the force buys, if you don't win the round, it doesn't do that much for you on the CT side, especially because you're going to be full eco next round. Mertz has an AK. That's going to be powerful going forward. Sure, it didn't go as bad as it could have done. They got a couple of nice kills there, but Flamey has just looked so good today with the rifle in particular. It seems like he's really found some confidence there. He's actually taking loads of jewels and hitting plenty of shots as well. 3 players to survive here, presumably. I don't think they'll hunt too much. You can see the money's quite low there for Na'Vi, obviously, on the second round, investing with the rifles. Got a bit dicey with the grenades, but they managed to get them towards B. If you hear 3 grenades go towards middle, you can assume the B bomb side will be a little bit weak, perhaps. So that's why they make that decision. They managed to get the bomb down, and the AK is saved on the CT side, but there's a replay of the grenades, and you only get to see it thrown, Trace. You won't get to see the money shot. That's what I'm saying.
It's an interpretive grenade throw,
yeah,
right? It's
exactly.
like interpretive dance, but also you have to kind of consider what happened there. And what
Use
we
your
do
imagination.
know, what we do know that happened, and we'll kind of talk you through it, was the stack towards that middle mountain area where they threw 3 grenades, got 2 kills. Ultimately, the round did not go in their favor. Still on a low buy here, trying to save some money and pick up some weaponry in the next round, so maybe they can get something going here. And, well, this has already turned out pretty well for them. Finding 2 frags. Edward, the only response thus far for Na'Vi, having taken down Mertz and the AK out of their hands. But Zeus falling as well. The S-Tag Scout, I mean, wow, this has kind of gone all wrong for Na'Vi, hasn't it? He's
done a lot of good work with the Scout this event. He seems to be the one that picks it up most times. Freiburg will be dropped here. The round is still on for Na'Vi. The fact they've cracked open this B bomb site now with a couple of smokes remaining, there still could be a chance of Electronic, and who has been hitting shots today, considered one of the strongest riflers in CSGO. We'll see if he can recover this one. Edward might have to do some of the heavy lifting here, though, towards short. Spots the barrel of Asilian, but he's more focused on Blame F. Ready for the trade as well. Asilian doesn't commit to it. Might have had to there, considering his low HP and the fact they don't have kits. He's hoping the mistake is made first.
That's right. They're waiting for that little bit of a give and take game here on Catwalk, and they're right next to each other, and they find the kills in sync. And putting another round on the board for Na'Vi. Now we're going to probably see a much better buy come out on the side of Heroic, which should level the playing field just a little bit, but it'll be very telling as to what sort of CT half we can begin to see here from Heroic. They want to get off to a good foot here. A round win right here would be very, very crucial in terms of maybe setting the pace and maybe starting to rein this one back into their control.
Now, there is one thing to discuss. They did have a bit of an investment in the second round,
Double
so
AWP.
no kits, but yes, double orbs. That is actually fantastic. S-Tag is no slouch with the sniper, I have to say. I really enjoy what he can do. He's quite aggressive as well. As you can see, doesn't quite hit the shot, though, but he has time to fall back. This was going to be the full-on A execution from Na'Vi, and S-Tag will miss another. The flashes are coming in. This is getting incredibly awkward. I think both of these players go down. Blame F takes himself down with a couple of them, though, so that's okay. It's still a 2 versus 2. Mertz with the AWP. He's rotating in. It's going to be Freiburg in towards CT spawn, and Mertz has to defend off this boost towards Sandwich as Simple getting himself set up. They think better of it and maybe just fall back out of this situation because they've got so much time on the clock, Trace. They don't necessarily just have to walk in towards A. They've got an HE here, 2 riflers, and they know the utility is going to be low and the CTs are lacking information right now.
Yeah, and in this situation, slow is smooth and smooth is fast, and Na'Vi have realized that. They want to kind of do this more methodically. With all that time on the board, they don't necessarily need to rush in there and find themselves in harm's way for no real reason with no real result. That bomb's going to get planted. Mertz set up in a really good spot here to help with the pincer, and he finds a kill onto Flamey with the op. Simple with the reply. Now he's got to know, and he does have that indication. He's going to find Freiburg over there towards Ticket. Going to be the grenade. Does a little bit of damage. Simple very, very hurt in this round. No kit on Freiburg.
Got a nade.
That nade could prove to be disastrous, but the repositioning here by Simple could also do the same.
The nade.
And the nade's coming through. Oh, just barely 3 HP on Simple. He almost goes down with it, and Freiburg's going to have to pressure this. There's no kit. There's no time. At this point, this has become quite the standoff, and it's all gone very, very wrong. Na'Vi putting a 4th round on the board here in what was a very, very awkward exchange of affairs there towards the end of the round.
Oh, the final boss of CSGO. When you're in a 1v1 against that guy there, like, he just does everything perfectly. Freiburg tried his best. I thought the grenade would be the saving grace there. He throws it in. It does 20 damage, leaving him 17 HP. And then the smoke found on the floor as well. There was a slight chance there for Freiburg. Then he drops the smoke. It's just an absolute nightmare. And it's Simple, once again, delivering the goods for Na'Vi. This is why he's considered one of the world's best. Every scenario, he just seems to play it so well. As we get into the 5th round, we said Heroic needed the strong start here, Trace. They've got anything but. They're on the CT side of Mirage. It's their pick. They're already a map down, and they have the AWP safe in the last round, and a bit of a partial investment here with CZ's Deagles and BlameF's UMP. They have smokes. They can treat this like a traditional gun round. No particular stack coming in here, and Freiburg jumping up. Could find himself with a spot of bob up. Don't want to nade himself. He does escape the damage, though.
Yeah, that grenade not landing exactly where he wanted to. Would have put down a ton of damage, but Asilian's going to do it instead. Freiburg also getting involved, finding 2. Now Simple trying to bring the round back, and he finds 2 himself, and then finds himself on the floor. Mertz taking him out with the AWP in a round that turned around very well in the favor of Heroic. A big-time round here for them to win, considering their investment into it and the weaponry they're able to gain after all their members remaining alive. And you can stay alive right now by checking the odds over at GG.Bet. That's right, head over there and look at the numbers as they start to teeter a little bit as the first round goes on the board for Heroic. But ultimately, Na'Vi could still be in the commanding position here. They're going to go ahead and take a tactical pause and try to reconvene, re-strategize, and figure out what they want to do with their lives.
Just goes to show, like, every kill, I always say this is so important in CS. Just the fact they said that one sniper rifle meant that round was possible. They didn't even have to force buy there. They get some deagles, maybe a bit of luck, some attention taken away from Mertz, so they can get a nice stack going on towards B. Freiburg, great job there. Didn't panic too much after missing a few shots there. Managed to take that attention with the kill towards the van position. That allowed Mertz to come through, hit a wonderful shot with the AWP, and really send the round in their favor. It was a great round from them. It's the first on the board. They need a lot more where that came from. It's now 4-1. There's money there for Na'Vi, and they've taken a tactical timeout now just to work out their approach. It's understandable why they went for a contact B play like that on that sort of round. They've got all the momentum and the money. They're trying to just make loose calls, and it looks like they're actually going for a more partial approach here. They don't want to throw all the cash. They could have got AKs, Kevlar, not much else, so let's go with PG-50s and a simple AK as well. He really did coin the term tactical purchase, one of the strongest riflers and AWPers in the game. Give him an AK, and he'll find you some opening picks.
And that is the tactic.
Yeah.
He is the
yes.
He is the buy itself. So yeah, relatively it does make sense, but also it could prove to be a little tough going forward. They will have a little bit of money no matter how this round goes. Right now they can hope to just sort of pick Heroic apart. That grenade is going to reign supreme on Flamey, finding himself at 31 HP early on in the round. Over a minute remaining. Trying to get something open here. They want to find Heroic sort of overextending and maybe punish them by taking out a member of their team and pushing around maybe an extremity of the map, but Heroic's not going to give that up so easily. Blame sniffs out the fact that they're probably on the other side of that smoke, and he would be exactly right. Now set up more towards this B side of the map. They have absolutely no control over at A. Flamey hang out in the middle. Overall, that bomb's going to be traversing back out of those B halls. Simple joins Flamey in middle, and Flamey's not going to be there for the party. In fact, he went home early. Simple taking out Blame with the trade, keeping the number game pretty even here, minus the weaponry involved.
Well, here we go then. A chance for S-Tag now just to confirm things for Heroic. The bomb dropped towards the A ramp, and we'll see him look very comfortable at this point. Nothing to really write home about. Remember, Simple just bringing that AK-47. He manages to get one kill. That's absolutely fine. His money will be limited going forward, and with 10 seconds remaining, he might consider the save. At Freiburg, I think he's aware of position. He's going to swing this corner.
Yeah.
As soon as that time at the top of your screen, ladies and gentlemen, goes to 0, that means Simple will not be eligible for money next round. He needs to survive here. If they take him down now, Freiburg with a swing, But the problem is this guy doesn't miss many shots.
No.
It looks like he will survive. No,
wow.
Mertz got him. So that means Simple is bankrupt going forward. That's a very important factor now. You've got the star player without cash. Yes, he can drop weapons, but it does affect the entire complexion of Na'Vi now.
Yeah, that couldn't have gone any more wrong there at the end. And Simple having no idea that they had already sniffed him out there in the connector. He does fall and is not able to save that weapon, much less any money going into this round. You might note just how broke he is here. AWP in the hands of Mertz and 4 pistols and a MAC-10 over there for Na'Vi. Edward trying to barrel rush out there towards that connector side, and he does find success. However, Mertz is there for the trade.
There it is. Simple gets dropped, but he just had a P50 and no armor there. So this should be another procedure where Heroic can run away with it. The Orc, so beneficial. Really enjoyed S-Tag's resurrection almost. I used to be a big fan a couple of years ago. Then he seemed to disappear ever since he got benched off Heroic and then was brought back in. His individual form seems fantastic. His confidence is back, and it seems like this new system really is working out for him as Cillian continues to find the headshots here. Electronic left in a 1 versus 4. He has got the bomb, however, and we'll see if he can get that down. That's his only real objective here. If he goes for a default plant, he could actually get it down if he planted it on the triple here. Mertz will hear it, so he's going to try and get this kill first. He'll swing around and try and take the AWP. Got to happen. Good stuff. And now he can actually get a plant out of this. This is actually possible to win if he somehow gets that AWP and CT spawn. We'll see if that's a factor, but it should almost certainly be going in favor of Heroic as he repositions himself here.
Yeah, not much hope here for Electronic. Getting that bomb down was a little bit of success, and almost finding a frag there. Can't seem to do it. S-Tag and Cillian will be escaping this round with 3 HP apiece, 2 kills apiece as well. So they do get the bomb down, which will help the monetary game in the long run, but for what it's worth, another round on the board for Heroic here. Things are now starting to turn in their favor just a little bit.
They're getting into the game at least. They had the disastrous 4-0 start, and he said they needed to avoid it. It's exactly what happened on train, and they found it difficult to recover. But we know their CT sides are decent. They just need a bit of chance here just to kind of stabilize everything and get some money together so they can start taking some risks. The problem is you can't really get into the full procedures until you get a nice bankroll. Then you can start pushing up towards middle and experimenting with opening picks. A Nova shotgun for Simple on the T side of Mirage. Have you ever seen anything like it? Well, I've seen things like that. Flaming with the headshot towards Blame F just runs up the A ramp. His confidence looks unbelievable today as Mertz has to try and fight back here.
Yeah, and these are the close angles we were talking about. Mertz being able to play all week long here at the GG.Bet Ice Challenge, and he might be doing it yet again here. He's going to try to find himself in the smoke. He pushes through. Shotgun op there for Edward on the receiving end. And that kill's going to help, and with all 4 members alive here for Na'Vi, trying to go towards this B site, trying to get out there with conviction. Freiburg's going to be the only stopping point. Mertz chiming in with AWP does tend to go a long way, but now they're kind of stuck in limbo, a purgatory, if you will, here in the B halls. Flamey very hurt, also Simple. That is not going to end well there. So Flamey falls, it's all up to Simple now in a 1v2. He finds the first frag, almost steps in the Molotov, finds the second one. Plenty of time left on the clock, but only 4 HP. He's not going to know Freiburg's there. Oh my goodness, he almost grabs the headshot, and that would have been the game changer. Going back to the shotgun.
What is this?
He's got the pump out. Now it's going to be a dicey game of cat and mouse, trying to skate his way around here and maybe catch Freiburg off balance and off guard. He might do just that. Should he peek just a little bit further? This time is dwindling down. Not knowing where Freiburg is, he might know soon. He finds the kill onto him. And does he have time to make it all the way over there?
He does.
The only problem here, Henry, is the fact that Cillian's coming off of catwalk, and there's nothing that he can do. They're caught in between a rock and a hard place. The connection is made through connector there, and Cillian takes down Simple. Na'Vi dropped that round after a very, very close showing.
It's got to be one of the scariest things in the world. Sat there in a 1v3. Simple finds a couple of headshots. You start thinking, oh no, he's going to do it. He's got us all. He knows where we all are. He just gets the shotgun out as well. He could have reloaded the AK, opts for the shotgun, then finds the AWP. I thought he was going to straight up challenge connector with the AWP and just go for the kill there, anticipating the push from short. He went for the swing around with the jump, trying to just bait out a bit of intel, maybe an AWP shot, and then go for the plant.
And the other side of using that shotgun is the fact that he's helping his own wallet in there in that moment, because getting that frag, he does get a little bit of money out of it, regardless of not having won the round. That's the downside, I suppose, but this tactical pause coming in from Na'Vi. They're going to try to put it all back together here, make the puzzle pieces fit where they will. And by those puzzle pieces, finding a gap in this defense that is Heroic on their CT side. 4-4 tie game here in London at the GG.Bet Ice Challenge. One of these teams moving on to the grand finals. Na'Vi one map closer. And strong T side showing here would help their case.
This is actually Heroic now starting the conversation as to whether we can go to a third map. It was looking troublesome, but now up against the partial investment of Na'Vi. This will be an A execution. I'm sure you've all seen it by now. Smokes all over the A side. Molotovs towards Shadow. Flashbangs over. You can have variations of this. You can bait out like they just have now. Maybe potential utility, but this is a nice setup. S-Tag, even if he goes down here, Blame F will just be playing off him. Second kill comes in, but Simple does he? Oh, God. Okay. That shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't happen. There should be a kill there for Blame F, but Simple just seems to be on another level right now.
And you got to kind of wonder what's in that coffee over there. My goodness, finding a third on the round. Huge frags here for Simple as he's really putting Na'Vi into this round. 2 members of Heroic left alive here. And, well, that's not going to last very long itself either. Freiburg, the only one. He does have a kit. He does have an M4. And he's got a pack of angry Na'Vi players hunting him down right now. He almost grabs a second one there, putting Simple down to 2 HP after taking down Edward. He's going to catch a lot of grenades. Simple finding huge success there for Na'Vi in that round, really making it even possible for that to happen. Finding the 2 kills there on ramp, that was the beginning, and then waltzing right out onto that A site. Can this man be stopped?
Do you know what I enjoyed the most about that one? I was looking inside the booth there when that round was going on. I was looking at Flamey's face, like he was in disbelief as well, just watching it, just how good this guy is. He's just like, okay, you've somehow got that kill and another. How is this guy so good? His face just said it all. Simple, just an absolute master of the game. That's the best way I can put it, I think, as they go into a full eco. Heroic will just have P2000s, USPs, no armor, and a broken back after the last round. It's a difficult one to recover from, especially up against pistols. You know you've got the full buy, and Simple's has come out and found 2 entries for CZ when you're having the perfect crossfire designed to shut that play down.
Yeah, and you can't even really attribute that to any sort of miscommunication or misplay there, because 9 times out of 10, the second guy coming up ramp would not be hitting that shot. Sort of like Zeus hitting the shots over here in the B site, leaving Freiburg all on his lonesome. And he's going to go ahead and have to back away a little bit. Somehow this has dwindled down to a 2v2. A good round here for Na'Vi. AWP in the hands of Simple, where it belongs. Bomb as well. He's going to skate out there towards this A site, and maybe Freiburg gets a glimpse of him, but I can't imagine a world, well, I guess I should imagine that world. Simple having crossed all the way into A site. Freiburg pushed up at the connector. He now knows that there's a player over there towards Picket, but it will not matter. The crossfire is played to perfection in this case, and Flamey comes out the victor. And so do Na'Vi, putting another one on the board here. The GG.Bet Ice Challenge, live from London, Henry.
Live from London, ladies and gentlemen, you are watching 2 of the world's strongest CSGO teams go battling out for $50,000 inside our octagon here. This is the lower bracket final. We have the grand final later on this afternoon. There's a team called North waiting to play the victor of either of these. Na'Vi are currently up 1 map. And now this is the second map. If they can win this out, they'll be making their way towards the grand final. It's first to 16, and we'll see if Heroic can bounce back here. It's going to be Mertz eating a grenade towards that window position at the very start. 49 HP for him, as Simple now has the AWP. And it's either himself and Flamey are just absolutely battering Heroic in these gun rounds right now. Nice nade from Zeus. He does do a lot of damage with the HEs. You can see Mertz taking even more there. S-Tag down to 80 as well. We'll see Simple just peeking towards that connector. 2 players towards short, and she could be boosting towards the mid position. Will they get anything from this?
Yeah, and a big purchase out here for Heroic, but right now that pushes are being punished. Flamey finding 2 in this round. Certainly not making it any easier for Heroic, and they always know the looming threat of Simple's AWP. Could be around any corner, and he's already proven to be quite lethal in this matchup itself. Going into this round, he had 13 frags, and, well, I guess he's not put any on the board since, but he's definitely made a strong case here for Na'Vi, just saying enough is enough. We're tired of third maps, and we definitely want to close this one out in 2. But can they do it? That will be the real question, because Mertz right now anchoring over here towards this A site. The flash is going to come out, and it's going to be about the only approach that Na'Vi has. Cillian's going to come there to back him up, but Mertz, well, Mertz not able to find any success in the round. Cillian, though, maybe doing something here, and It's now all going to be down to him as Electronic takes down Freiburg in that B site. Bomb planted, Zeus there. Done deal. Easy cat-cat.
This is what we expected from Na'Vi coming into this tournament. These sort of results, this sort of poise, all 5 players looking like they have an objective and they're trading off each other. And it did seem to me like earlier in the tournament they were overcalling each other. There was apprehension going into bomb sites. They weren't trading. And I feel like they've rectified that. Flamey addressed it in the interview and said that's something they need to work on. And I'm impressed right now. This is a Na'Vi that could be dangerous in big tournaments. Yesterday, anything but the fact they just slivered through against AVANGAR really wasn't that impressive. But another Felica, I'm afraid. And Heroic do have the 5 HE grenades. We saw them deploy those towards middle before. It looks like a similar objective here. And will they find success again? There is a player there. And they will get the kill. Edward goes down, but Freiburg has been tagged up. And Estag surely going to be dropped as well. Electronic with a couple of kills, but still a 3-on-3.
Yeah, and these rounds can turn around real quick in the favor of the team that's saving. But in this case, that's not going to be the case because the reel is back, the veal is back. And you know what? Henry, the flow is back. Peeled is back.
Is that a song?
Oh, my bad.
I'm not aware of it.
Anyway, Blame running himself right into the site. Not much that he can do, but as I said, these rounds can turn around very quick here. Na'Vi with 7 on the board, and
see ya.
See you later. Blame F out of the equation, out of the round, and another one on there for Na'Vi, an 8th to be exact.
Well, there we have it. It will be Heroic now on their map pick. Tournament life on the line in this first half as every round seems to be slipping by. Their stars unable to shine. Flamey ready for every single push on any facet of the map, it seems. Winning out clutches, bullying them in the 1vx situations, and even Zeus has got some tremendous impact so far with the AKs, focusing on towards that B bomb site. Lovely shots towards spawn as well. As we continue now, we'll see how healthy this situation is looking for Heroic here. On the scoreboard, it's not too good, 8-4. And we'll see if the rifles are out in full force. As you can see the odds come through, Na'Vi, absolute heavy favorites here, 1.12, brought to you by esports bookmaker, GG.Bet, and 5.71 for Heroic. So they have the rifles, a couple of kits. They have decent utility as well. The bite is there, but can Heroic, without the AWP as well, especially, bounce back from this one?
That's right. The bounce back should start now for Heroic. They want to go ahead and not lose this half in too bad of a fashion, but now they can only hope to put 7 on the board. Mertz, though, definitely going to start this round off in the right way with the opening frag there, taking Edward out of the round. We don't see an AWP there on Mertz, so Na'Vi, knowing that, might be trying to play this one just a little bit differently, and now setting themselves up for this A hit. They're going to be trying to walk out there, throwing that smoke towards the jungle area. The smoke's coming a little late on A ramp in reply from Heroic, but for now, it's going to be S-Tag and company to try to thwart this one off as they slowly work their way out there in the Tetris area, Henry.
They certainly do. It is the advantage for Heroic, but still, simple of the AWP could be disastrous for them. We'll see. There's no utility left for Na'Vi whatsoever. They're going to have to rely on brute force here to crack this site open. S-Tag in an exposed spot. Will he be ready for this jump up? It's going to be Electronic going up there, but fumbles the initial jump, and now this should surely be around in favor of Heroic. It quickly goes into the 3-on-3, though. Simple tears off the head of Blame F, and Blind as well. He'll get another. Both of these CTs towards jungle now. They're isolated without the kit, and now they have a disadvantage. It was looking so promising. And remember, Na'Vi had no utility here. They just had to hit their headshots, and nothing missed so far. Ascillion, he really does have to try and make something happen here. Flashes over. Can he deny the plant? Certainly not. Gives his position up. But Freiburg, he's been baited in somewhat, and it goes back to the 2-on-2.
And Simple wants this. He wants Ascillion to peek out here and punish him. Instead, Freiburg's going to take that swing, and ultimately, eventually, Flamey will be taking him down and ending the round out. Na'Vi looking very strong now, looking like they've got the ball rolling in the right direction. All coerced and put together in the manner they wanted to, Henry Greer.
The problem is with yesterday, when they got in those sort of situations where they had no utility left and they weren't sure what to do, nothing would happen. They would just be so stifled, they weren't sure how they could get back into the round. Now the communication seems like it's on point. They're actually coming up with ideas on the fly. Someone, hopefully Zeus, is just making clean calls and saying, we're going for this, go for these kills. They're hitting their shots and shutting down their opponents with every single peak. It's wonderful to watch when it all comes together. As Heroic now, they need to get some rounds on the board here. 4 will not cut it on the CT side of of Mirage, especially against a fired-up Na'Vi. This is another partial buy, maximum loss bonus in full effect. Ascillion might be able to seal away an AK here. This could be a little bit sloppy from Electronic if there's no trade, but Zeus is there. Their trades were questionable yesterday, and he is going to struggle on this one. He needs to get this kill. Takes a little bit of damage, but gets it. Waiting for the reply from Freiburg, and that's the MP9 coming into full effect, and they have an advantage here and an AK-47.
Yeah, and that pinch there on the B hall is going to prove to be a little bit fruitful for Heroic. However, the hit's going to be on over here at A. Try to hold him off. S-Tag getting the drop onto Edward there with the CZ, but not before taking quite a bit of damage. This one's gone horribly wrong for Navi. Simple left with the AWP, and he might be a miracle worker. However, it's not going to happen today, Henry. That round going in the way of Heroic, and they're not out of this fight just yet. 9-5, he's looked to end out this half. Potentially 9-6 Heroic, but you don't want to count their eggs before they hatch.
Absolutely not. Famously, that is a bad idea, as we'll see Heroic actually forced by, well, partially by into that round. It's the MP9 that will be finding the second frag, funneling them in towards A, and they've got 5th on the board. The thing is, like we said, it's a CT-sided map. They need at least 6 here. The double AWP setup coming through, and a couple of AKs as well. It's actually looking very strong for Heroic. They can certainly bring this one back if they pick up this last round. If it goes double digits though for Na'Vi here, I feel like they're really going to struggle. It'll be very dependent on whether they can pick up the pistol. There's Blame F, who's been up and down this tournament trace. He's been very successful. I'd say it's one of his first big tournaments here. We've been impressed, but he's going to have to pull out all the stops here to get them back in this one.
Now, mind you, Navi went 11-4 yesterday and watched AVANGAR run this bad boy all the distance, all the rounds.
Yeah.
And yes, they did end up winning the series, but that is not something that bodes well going into this next half, where Navi will flip over and play that CT side. But right now, Simple looking to get that pick. S-Tag's going to get the better of him through that little crevice there. Now Navi need to figure out what they want to do. S-Tag, try not to overextend too far. Going to throw down that smoke and try to push back Navi from rushing him out here. He does hold supreme here in these halls. But Henry, I mean, in terms of Navi in this moment, you lose Simple, you lose the AWP power in this round.
Sure.
Do you just wait out some utility? Where do you take this one?
You need to find your playmakers at this point. You need your Electronic, your Flamies to get in position, get some information. You can see they're not together right now, just feeling things out. Going to continue with their default, try and show some presence towards B. That's exactly what Zeus has done now. That one smoke, and might not see that much, but it will keep those two players entertained for at least 15 seconds while its teammates now make their way towards A. Unfortunately for them, Mert in a great spot, posted up like a turret with a sniper rifle. He'll confirm the round by the look of things here, unless it all falls apart in the last few seconds. But they've done a great job. 10 seconds remaining. It is going to be 9-6 for Heroic, as Zeus could do nothing about it. Yes, to answer your question, once Simple goes down and time's running out, your options are limited, but they tried to do what they could, try to go for a contact play towards that A bomb site, and it was looking like a really difficult half for Heroic. But the fact they get 6 in the end actually will fill them with confidence. They finish the half on a high. They get 2 rounds in a row and actually get themselves in a position. If they win the pistol and get the 3-0, they tie things up. So it's not the end of the world here, and hopefully they'll be able to show us what they can do as they pick this map. Remember, they're going to be feeling confident. You can see they've got some little setups with those set pieces with the grenades, but it was the individual performances of Na'Vi once again. 2v4s, 1v3s, all of it was going on as they kept bullying Heroic time and time again.
And you could tell by the body language there of Freiburg, you know, you saw the big sigh of relief, you know, having that last round in that half, you know, 9-6. In terms of a CT side, you want to end a little stronger than that, but in this case, the sigh of relief definitely shows that these guys, they haven't put the towel in yet. They're definitely still in here, and they think that if they pick up a pistol here, they can begin to run this one back and perhaps even find a tie game. But with Simple coming online, it's definitely going to become a little bit more scary in their case.
It's not so much Simple as scaring me the most. It's actually Flamey. And when that guy's in the zone with the rifle, the AK-47 especially, there's not many people that can out-aim him. And we've seen him look quite streaky, even in the last 6 months or so. But this particular game or series, if you want to call it that, he's looked frightening how good he's been and how effective and confident he's been in every of these key situations, as we've got a maximum of 2 minutes per half to discuss things. It looks like we actually have a bit of a technical issue here. Maybe Freiburg is struggling with the audio, I think, at that point. So let us sort that out quickly as we get ready for what could be the final half of this series. Remember, Na'Vi are currently a map up in this lower bracket final. Heroic did beat Na'Vi in the first game of the tournament. It was 2-1. Absolute bloodbath went the full distance. But now Na'Vi looking much better today, much more poised. We always say they're slow burners into the tournament, but this is a very late appearance to see them peak, at least, as they map up now. 9-6 as they move over to the CT side of Mirage. And looks like we're just going to be reconnecting to the server here. So a chance for everyone to breathe. Trace, why don't you tell us, everyone, why are we here? Why is the Octagon here at ICE? What is it all about?
We've brought the Octagon out here because after the grand finals, the true winner will be decided in a best-of-5 bout between actual wrestling. Now, we don't know exactly who's going to the finals yet, but if we had to take a look at the north side of things, I mean, I don't know. Who do you have over there as your big heavyweights?
I think Gade will probably send in first.
Yeah,
that would be.
I think Valde as well. He's got military experience.
True, yeah.
So I can rally behind that and say, okay, this guy, he could probably get in there and mess stuff up. But I guess outside of that, I don't know, who would you send last?
Send in last. Let's think about this. I'm not sure AZ would be too comfortable in that environment.
I think you're right.
But he's a lovely man. He's a lover, not a fighter. Anyway, we are here in the lovely ICE conference here in London. For those of you not aware who are maybe watching and walking past and wondering why we've got some gamers in a cage, this is what's called esports in a nutshell. Normally we would have these sort of tournaments in big stadiums around the world with potentially millions of people watching online as well. This is just to give you an insight as to how esports and Counter-Strike specifically works. It's a 5-on-5 game, and this is a long affair. This is a best of 3. We can last up to 3 hours, and they're playing for a prize pool of $50,000. Right now, this is the lower bracket final between one of the best teams in the world, Na'Vi, and some plucky underdogs who are called Heroic, who are rebuilding their team right now and have showed promise. Currently, Na'Vi up a map, looking to book themselves a place in the grand final, and if they can win out this next half, they will absolutely do that.
That they will. That's right, the GG.Bet ICE Challenge. The bookmakers here providing this entire experience from the London Expo. There's a lot going on around here, but this is the last day. Of course, the last day for us as well, as we will be crowning a champion. The winner's taking home 30,000 big ones. And by big ones, I'm talking about
the cash.
The Washingtons. All the Washingtons.
The Benjamins.
Yeah, exactly. But there'd be 30,000 of them. So
that's pretty good.
Anyway, numbers and stuff, not my strong suit. What is my strong suit here is getting us back into this game, and it does look like they're going to be getting down to business here shortly.
While we wait, Trace, I've got a question for you.
Oh, dear.
Whenever I'm casting, right, I'm always saying he's got 30 bullets left in the clip. What's the difference between a magazine and a clip, just so I know? What should I be saying in an AK-47? What's left if he's got 20 bullets there?
So it's going to be a magazine.
A magazine?
Yes.
So if I say clip, that'd be incorrect.
A clip would be, imagine, this would be the easiest way to remember it.
Okay.
Without getting too technical.
Sure.
A magazine is for a weapon.
Okay.
A clip is for your hair.
I don't get it.
Like a hair clip.
Sure, but they say I've got 2 bullets left in the clip, right?
Who's pistols. They, Henry?
I don't know. Is that a thing?
I don't know what simulation you're living in, but where I'm from, it's definitely magazines.
Always magazine then.
And there's a difference between guns and weapons.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and also throw that one out there. But anyway.
I just wanted to confirm for my own side. I want to make sure I'm doing everything factually and correct as usual.
There is a lot of that misconception. There are a lot of people throwing around terms willy-nilly. It gets kind of scary out here in 2019. I almost said 18. Kind of forgot what year. They're all kind of blending together at this point.
Indeed, they are.
Sort of like the rounds that Heroic are trying to put in there and string together. It's a big, big, big pistol round for them here as they try to tie this game up, a 9-6 half. They ended it as best as they could.
Well, speaking of pistol rounds, when these two teams duked it out in the first series of the tournament, in terms of pistol rounds across all 3 maps, Heroic picked up 5 of them and Na'Vi just getting 1. That was obviously an influential factor as to why they were struggling so much on that day, and I don't think those numbers are anywhere near that level now. Na'Vi have definitely picked up a couple of pistols so far. If they get this one, that could be their ticket into the grand final where North will be waiting. It will be a best of 3 coming up straight after this one. It's currently 11 o'clock in the morning here in London, and the final, I assume, will just be kicking off probably about half an hour as soon as we finish this series. We'll see how it goes. Live events and people being here on time is always
it's nice.
Kind of a weird thing. We'll see what happens. But there it is. Looks like we're ready to go, ladies and gentlemen. A slight technical issue, but we are right back into the action. This is Heroic playing Na'Vi. We'll see who will come out on top in the second map here. It's Inferno to be played last if required. I've got a sneaking suspicion that the Na'Vi were to take this one home, especially if they can pick up this pistol. The form they've showed as a 5-man unit today, it's finally looking pretty decent.
Especially finding the groove that we're talking about here. You talk about Flamey, I'll talk about Simple, and the reality is that when these guys do find that rhythm and that groove, and just evidence of even sometimes when we see Edward chime in as well, we saw examples on the pistol round where even when they got the bomb planted, you could tell that they had that sort of confidence coming off that last map victory that they were going to push and not let them get set up, not let them get comfortable, not let them sort of set up for the retake that they want over there on Heroic. And if you're Navi, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to keep them on their toes, keep them off guard, and keep them trying to do things that are a little out of their comfort zone so that way you can thrive in your comfort zone, being in the driver's seat. And in this case, we're almost ready to live, I do believe. But
hopefully we are.
I think that brings me to my next question, Henry.
Okay, I'm ready. Shoot.
So you're obviously from the UK,
yes,
from this big island that we're on right now.
Tiny island, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, so the difference between sterling and pound, and why is it called that?
It's just, it's not different names. It's just called British pound sterling. That's just it. Like, why are you so interested in that? People been going up to you and said, would you like some sterling, sir?
Well, we do know this guy named OJ, right? And
okay,
all he ever says is sterling, or the Goonies.
Because he is trying to sound like he is very British, and it's an attractive thing when you're abroad because people find it very, like a bit of a novelty, perhaps, and that's why he does that.
I mean, OJ finding all that success in the Mummy movies, you might have noticed him over there, Brendan Fraser's cousin. And in this moment, we do actually have a game in front of us. It has happened. We have gone live, and it's going to be Heroic trying to claim this T pistol here, posturing there towards those B halls. Not having any middle control at all, but they're not really having any contest there either. But for what it's worth, the immediate destruction of Flamey has happened. He has been incinerated by Mertz's Glock. So now that does make things just a little bit easier, Henry.
We'll see what's left to do, because now you have this advantage of your Heroic, right? You've got plenty of time on the clock. You've got an early kill, and it doesn't get much better than that. We'll see if this is going to convert into a victory. They've got 2 smokes here, and I assume they go back towards A with those smokes. They definitely have the option to go towards B, smoke either pillar. That actually looks more likely at this point with the rotation for T-spawn. They could smoke either pillar from these positions, flash over, and issue power in numbers. As long as all 5 players go in, they have an advantage whatever happens. They need to be cognizant of the fact that there could be potential for flanks here from T-spawn. They need to operate quickly. Ascidian lining up the first smoke, and here we go. I think that one is just for the kitchen potentially here. We'll have one towards the pillar and one towards the kitchen. It actually lands right towards short, so that's nice. Actually is perfect for Zeus's position, and we'll see if they can get that bomb down quickly.
That's right. They're going to try to get this bomb down with the quickness, and so they can get some money, and as it's being planted right now. The retake from Cat kind of thwarted off, but an amazing headshot hit from Simple. You can't escape this man, Ascilian. You just can't do it. He's landing that shot with a conviction, and now he's going to try to push his way out into sight. And if there's one man to open it, it will be Simple, but not today. Freiberg and S-Tag doing just that. Blame F.
Flame F.
I mean, it is the F and the blame, the whole thing. Anyway, it's going to be Electronic left by himself, and he's going to not go for this. He does have full armor. So in this situation, probably would behoove him to back away and perhaps buy into head armor next round.
We will see. Has he actually got the 100? Indeed he has. So for anyone who's not aware, if you have your Kevlar at 100 health, I guess you can call it that, it means you can get the helmet for a discount price of only $350. If it goes towards 99, that has to be 100. It has to be full health of the armor for you to do that. And if they force buy in the next round, which is certainly an option, that will be beneficial. Don't have to, considering they have the lead here. Might just want to take it easy, but we'll have a look if they want to. It's Navi after all. It doesn't look like they've gone for it, as Electronic does get the helmet we discussed, but everyone else taking the full eco. And I think that's the correct call here. They're not looking their absolute best, and we'll see if this will find them a few kills, and they'll bring out the rifles in the next round.
9-7 the score here, and well, the purchasing power of Navi is not one that tells the story of a successful round, but should they find themselves in some, as you Londoners would say, cheeky situations.
We're always saying that.
Yeah, all I ever hear is cheeky. Or Nando's, any of that. Nonetheless, the pistols are out, and they're going to try to get this fight into as close range as possible. Simple, a little too close, though. Gets burnt by Mertz. He's Mac 10, netting himself a good amount of money. And a holding pattern in position for Heroic. They do have complete mid-control, and the Navi stack is real. They've pretty much gambled that this hit will come over to that site. And that's just not going to be the case, as Heroic do look to run it all the way back over to this A side where they will be uncontested. And basically, once they figure that out, they're going to be able to run out here and have their way with the A-bomb site.
I'm sure they'd love that. We'll see what can be done here, as we'll see Flamey be taken down by Mertz, and it will be Electronic, Zeus, and Edward to try and pick up anything they possibly can, as it looks like this is a guaranteed round for Heroic. And actually, sure, you're up against pretty much full eco here, but every kill has a knock-on effect here, especially if you want to come back. You want to get the money as strong as possible. If you even lose a Mac 10, that's going to cost you a few $1,000. You want to make sure everyone's surviving and not overextending. You've got nothing to really hunt for and everything to lose.
Let's talk a little about the money that Mertz is gaining. Now, this is the team opper. He's getting these kills with the Mac 10. He's definitely giving himself that cushion of building up his monetary situation so that he can buy the AWP sooner rather than later, which is exactly what he wants to do. They want to shut down the opposing op on Simple as soon as possible. And going into this next round, most likely see a buy from Na'Vi. 4 weapons staying alive here for Heroic. And even though Mertz does fall, he gave himself quite a bit of money going in the next round with 6,100. He will most certainly purchase up into that AWP. You can tell now that Na'Vi a little baffled is how they want to approach this round. You can see the looks on their faces, the expression. I actually see Flamey yawning with conviction over there.
Well, the thing is, they didn't force buy, remember, in that second round. So their options are actually pretty decent here as we get into the first gun round. They've played a conservative game. They want to make sure they close this one out without any sort of stress. They want to have all the gun rounds. They feel like they're playing a strong game today. They don't need to run on crazy 1D rounds and take huge gambles here. If you're a comfortable team, you'd rather rely on your full strategies, execution, and your star players in their correct roles than hoping you can find some 1Ds and capitalize upon mistakes of your opposition, perhaps. As Na'Vi discussed their options, it seems like communication is much better today. There's not so much bickering or arguing or bad energy or vibes on that side of the octagon. There was a lot of that yesterday. Even when they won the game, you could see just a pool of bad vibes as they left the octagon. It was actually quite difficult to watch. It was like a bit awkward. But
yeah, and I mean, we talk about the bickering and arguing, but I really think it's a matter of frustration, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, they've put themselves in a position where they are, you know, one of the best teams in the world, but it all kind of hinges on a couple of players, whether they do or don't. And I hate to say that this team does ride or die on that big time. And in this round, it's big time coming in the way of Flamey, finding the opening kill onto Freiburg, but the replies are there. This one's going very well for Na'Vi so far. Mertz, the only one left, did not have that AWP. Instead, an AK, finding himself underneath Palace, finds one under Electronic, looks for the spam, through the smoke, finds Zeus. And now it's going to be a 1 versus 1. Simple versus Mertz. Edging around, skating around each other in this A-bomb site. And the quickness on Mertz with this shot of the AK. My goodness, Simple has fallen.
You hear that scream, Trace? That's the passion we're looking for. Those are the rounds that will get Heroic back in this series. Mertz, he does it all. He's got the AWP potential, and now it seems the clutch with the AKs as well. That was absolutely massive. 2 kills through smoke there. The awareness to know Simple could be close as well. He jukes him, takes him down with the fake plant, and it will be Na'Vi now on another partial buy. They were hoping they could seal that one away, start building up some momentum, but this is where Heroic will take the lead here on Mirage. Up against CZs, Desert Eagles as well. You send that Mac 10 in first, and should be absolutely fine here as Simple. Oh, he is a little bit dangerous with that Deagle. You've got to be careful if you want to challenge those positions. There's no trade potential there. But remember, that's the Mac 10. It isn't a huge deal to give that away, but Flamey could find an AK here. Spots the barrel. It starts to go wrong. Flamey gets 2 with the Deagle, and all of a sudden, this round falls apart from Heroic. The dizzy heights of that previous clutch, and now in a 5 versus 2 against just Pistols.
Wow, Flamey coming alive at the right time here in London. It's now up to S-Tag and Freiburg to try to spin this one back around in the way that they wanted it to go to begin with. But that is certainly not how they wanted it to unfold there, as that round started to come in the way of Na'Vi, and 5 members alive, 5 pistols at that. Trying to sniff one out there, and they do push someone out of the window room, but now they're kind of stuck. I mean, they've realized that, hey, we have messed up big time here, and we don't necessarily find ourselves too mad at ourselves because, I mean, who accounts for Flamey hitting shots like that, Henry?
The first one, he spotted the barrel, sure. But the second was unbelievably good. If Zeus can close it out cleanly, that's such a fantastic round. they've just earned themselves a full gun round for free. No one went down. They've already got armor. They've got all the AKs now. Simple. He kicked things off. I just said he's got a deadly deagle, but then all of a sudden this comes out. Oh my goodness, he sees a sliver of his head, and Blamef doesn't even have a chance to react to the call as he gets the second, and it's a clean sweep with deagles and CZs.
Yeah, and for Na'Vi, that's a big round to have turned around, especially given the round they lost prior to that, where they did buy into it full force. No AWPs here, though. Simple wielding that AK. Still a threat nonetheless. 2 deagles, T250, and 2 Glocks over on the side of Heroic. Cillian trying to sell that there's a lot of B action going on here, but I don't know that Na'Vi's going to bite at it. They have spotted a player over here towards A ramp, and assuming that they're all going to barrel out A might be the right guess here. The bomb there, 4 members of Heroic. If you're on the other side of the map, you probably need to do something in this moment to kind of sell the idea that this entire Heroic lineup might not be here at A ramp. Mertz, though, helping out big time, finding 2 humongous 1-deeks. Flamey can't seem to get it done. And Cillian and Freiburg is going to turn this in the way that they want it to, shaping, scoping this round for Heroic. This is a back-and-forth affair. Simple by himself is not enough to get that done. 10-10 the score here, and Heroic looking to force this one into a third map.
We're going for a timeout. Heroic, they answer back with some deagle shots of their own. Mertz with his 23rd kill of the round so far. How he keeps hitting all these brilliant shots, I'll never know, but he is playing out of his mind right now. He doesn't want to go home. If he loses this map, they are sent packing, but if they can win it, it'll take us to a third. This is actually warming up quite nicely now. We're seeing every player start to peak. The shots are starting to be hit. The deagles especially are looking incredibly dangerous as, yes, Heroic win that previous round, but still, like we talked about before, that adrenaline surging. They're getting excited. Peacemaker wants to make sure he keeps them on a leash at this point, make sure everyone understands the objective of their next gun round, what kind of money the Na'Vi will have. And remember, Na'Vi won the Eco before, so sure, they've been reset, but there should be a little bit of cash for a buy here if they want to. It won't be the strongest buy, but we'll see what they can bring out. As we get into the bookend now, the second map, this is actually getting quite exciting as the Octagon quietens down as we begin the next round. As Mertz there playing fantastically well. And we'll have a look at the CT complexion. What have they got going? As we'll have the AWP, and like I said, a buy available, but it's not ideal. 2 CZs, the AWP, and an AUG.
Would love to see where this op is going on to Zeus.
B bomb site, it's actually not the worst idea. He can hold that like a turret and play B by himself, right? He doesn't need to hit flashy shots. He just needs to sit there, give a call off, and hopefully get 1 kill.
Yeah, and you could tell right now with the 2 CZs, Edward trying to play this connector in a very, very close manner so that he can catch someone off tilt. And he might be doing that to S-Tac here any moment should the opportunity present itself. Mertz with the AWP in this round. Very successful round for him last round, so maybe he can keep it alive here. Molotoving the connector, forcing Na'Vi back. Trying to get some spammage through the smoke. Can't seem to land any of the shots there. Edward, though, beaten back down to about half health. And Na'Vi don't want to find themselves in a pickle here. They don't want to find themselves anywhere where they're going to get caught off and punished for it. Caught out of position, but the full-on A commit has started now. The connector crunch over there towards A. They got a member over in Palace and one on A ramp. So right now, this rotation has have to come in with a quickness over on the side of Na'Vi. 10-10 the scoreline, and they're looking to make it 1 more in their favor. Electronic working his way up there. Can't seem to close the kill out until now when Cillian does follow. But Blamef and S-Tac there to clean things up. S-Tac very low, and Electronic still alive, trying to get something going. He finds a second kill from connector. Very well done. And this round very close, no kits, but Electronic keeping it alive there, punishing every move from Heroic. Finding another one, not even really sure how he did that. Finally, he falls, and you know what? I don't think that there's any way that they can do that. He's gonna stick it. Now, I'm just gonna speculate here as I can't really hear the beeps, but I don't think it can be, oh my goodness. Very, very close there on the defuse.
Worth a go.
And on the back of some Heroics by Electronic, they're really putting some frags down range, and basically jumping off the rafters of the octagon, Henry.
Yeah, we haven't seen him go absolutely massive. Yeah, he's had a decent game, but that was scary how good the shots were there. Started off with a few misses. We won't see the replay, but, you know, I'll kind of paint a picture of my words. He got a few misses with the CZ, then punished 2 players. They're pre-aiming the corners, took down Blame F, got his AK-47, found the 2 more kills there, and the full defuse was a possibility had they have had the defuse kit. But unfortunately, still, that was a force buy, and they're just going to have the AWP save in the previous round and a CZ in the hand of Zeus. So Simple will have the orb. And you have to just watch players like himself and Oscar. They can win these sort of rounds with just a single orb and USPs around them. It can be enough. Just has to find the right position. And this could be it.
Very good position here. Simple, almost with a double, taking down Mertz. Flamey getting involved as well. Now 3 members alive for Heroic over here on this A ramp. They do have the bomb. And they're kind of leaving it there until now. They're going to grab it and try to get out of there as quick as possible. They know that the rotations are in. The only casualty over on Na'Vi has been Flamey. Now that rotation is going to come in. I think Na'Vi have to have realized at this point that, well, enough time has elapsed that we kind of need to back out of here. Simple having that only weapon, and again, no kits at hand. Zeus using that smoke now.
Yeah, that's the key factor. Where did he drop the smoke? I think
maybe a misdrop. Look over there towards B.
It should have been in the B. About to say, you can drop a smoke in B apartments and hold them off for like 20 seconds, and maybe we can actually funnel them back towards A. He's there alone. He needs backup, but yes, Simple is coming over, so this should be absolutely fine. It was a weird smoke he chucked to Van. I'm not sure what the objective was there.
Maybe a misclick there. Definitely could have been the case, but he's set up with the CZ, trying to find one, can't seem to do it. He does swing out and is punished for it. Simple, perfect positioning, finds one frag on a Blame. He needs to find another one here to keep this round alive for Na'Vi, and he can't do it. He does get flanked over there by Asilian. Now we're going to see Electronic and Edward try to retake this site again. No kits, so they're going to have to play this one with a bit of quickness, and Edward already in the site, and unfortunately it does seem that Freiburg has turned around and found him, and had he swung on that pillar, he might have just caught Asilian off guard here. This is a really awkward round in its development, and Edward maybe trying to find this op and get out of dodge right now.
You've got to ask yourself, Trace, you know that Zeus is in that position, right? He knows they're coming towards B. He can hear them coming. He's got Simple there with the AWP at window. He's called they're coming. All he has to do, right?
Yeah.
Simple takes the first shot, takes the aggro away. Then you swing out the CZ, you get a kill. If you hear them coming, just jump out by yourself. Like, you might get one kill, but you're probably not going to, especially as you can't really justify where the aim's going to be, how close they are. The fact they knew they were coming towards B, Simple's already there, had to play off each other a little bit more. That was pretty poor. And the round, I think they should have won from the contribution from Simple. It was a done deal.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, just that one kill gave it up. But here comes the buy, and this is where things could get a little bit dicey. Simple's got the auto shotgun on Mirage. I haven't seen that in quite some time.
Do something strange for a little piece of change, Henry, and that is exactly what he's trying to earn. A little extra change, perhaps, with that shotgun. Maybe get his economy back up so that he can purchase the AWP he's known to wield and deal with. In this case, though, postured over there towards the A side and having Freiburg worked all the way up Cat, uncontested. It's going to be an A hit. Cillian in the Palace, and now the hit from ramp is going to come out here. It's going to be Edward and Electronic try to hold this off as best defensively possible. Edward spots the player on Cat. You hear the comms coming in here in real time, actually. And they have barely made their way out on the site. Now the bomb is being planted. Flash is coming through. Freiburg getting that flank onto jungle, but Edward's going to reply with the best that he can. 3 members alive for Na'Vi. No kits again. 3 smokes. Zeus evening up the numbers, taking down Freiburg. Mertz with his AWP set up towards A ramp. He will probably be this last player to stay alive should it come down to that, but it's not looking like Na'Vi want to go for this. In fact, they're going to go ahead and back away. And now Heroic picking up another round here, putting a 13th on the board. Henry, how did this happen?
This is from all these tight clutch situations, the fact that Na'Vi are throwing away wins. Essentially, that previous round should have been theirs. Just a couple of small mistakes gave it away, and then the auto shotgun comes out. You can see they had bare bones utility as well. And with Heroic playing a very nice methodical round towards A, getting that plan down, trading out the kills like they've been doing all tournament on this map. They're looking like they're cruising into a third. That could be a bit of a problem. It'll take the wind out of Na'Vi's sails, that's for sure. We are here live at the GG.Bet Ice Challenge, live and direct from London. And we'll see now if Na'Vi can hold their nerve. They were looking so good in the first map, even at the beginning of the second, and Heroic on their T side, showing us why they picked this map. It's a best of 3. It's Inferno to decide if required. It might just be at this stage, as there's the coach of Heroic behind. He gets his input for 30 seconds, 4 times a map. He's allowed to join in and help them out tactically and assist Asilian, who's in front of him, their in-game leader. He makes all the shots, but the coach can provide assistance and some insight as to what they might be doing or what they can try to just surprise their opponents, for example. We'll see what happens here, as the money is okay. Remember, 3 weapons saved in the previous round for Na'Vi. I don't think they have the all. They're going to need to win a couple in a row to start looking convincing, as this second half has been pretty disastrous for them.
Yeah, it has all kind of fallen apart. And if you're on the side of Na'Vi, you're probably having nightmares and flashbacks of yesterday against AVANGAR, where you went up 11-4 in the first half and you let it just get so close and uncomfortable. And in this situation, comfort levels over there on Simple have not deterred. He found himself all the way up middle, did not find any contact in the area. That grenade doing big things over there in the halls. It has a little bit of a smell of a B hit here from Heroic. Then you have the bomb back there towards the TV room. The 3 members pushed all the way up, trying to find perhaps a member of Na'Vi peeking from the van, while Simple's fighting in middle, as you can see there on your screen, the picture-in-picture. Full-on mid-control. So now if Heroic want to flex back, they want to try to crunch on A, they're going to have to re-clear middle, and that could prove to take a little bit of utility and a little bit of time as we look to edge out this 1-minute marker on the round. They're going to be sending Mertz and S-Tag there towards the underpass. They're probably going to run into the contact here from Edward. Og proving its worth, and this is one of those angles, tight like a toiga. It certainly shows its value. Unfortunately, he absolutely pulls nothing out of that, Henry.
Well, it's a slow build-up for the round, but Heroic now, with that infamous mid-control, they're going to be heading towards Connector or possibly up towards Shoreland. It's going to split the B-bomb site. It's the former. Edward has to deliver at least 1 kill here. There it is. Can he get a second? Not quite, but does damage towards Blame F. Flamey will be flashed off this position, and double smoke, not ideal there, and it's going to cause a bit of confusion, but still keeping things to a 3 versus 3, making it 2. Simple Electronic, though, one of the greatest duos in the game right now, starting to be shut down. It's up to Simple, who has to win out in the 3 versus 1. He has no utility, no kit, and now no head, as it's Heroic who looking likely to take us to the 3rd map at this point. That's a great round by them. Very composed and well handled, even after the slight mistake of the double smoke towards jungle. They managed to compose themselves, hit the shots, and actually come out on top against Electronic and Simple in that tight, close range situation.
And they say Na'Vi Davi, but in this situation, they're not going anywhere very fast, Henry. It seems like they have been stalled out here on Mirage, 14-10. This one has crept back up on them. And Heroic did it in convincing fashion. Quite the spam, though. Simple putting a considerable amount of damage down. Able to take down Blame F in the process. And that's going to help the war effort here for Na'Vi in this round. Mertz looking for a pick over here on these B halls. And they do have mid-control, and they have Asilian and Connector now. So this could definitely turn around into one of those rounds where not only does Simple find himself in 1 HP and trying to hold this dream alive, but also it seems as though Heroic spread pretty thin. Electronic big kill there. He almost missed that one, almost didn't get it. Ends up with 40 HP, 48 to be exact.
I've got to say, Electronic's got one of the scariest CZs in the game right now. He makes it look like a rifle. It's unbelievable what he can do with that weapon. Difficult to master that one. But,
circa the French scene many years ago.
Yeah, like RPK. Using that thing was pretty wild. As looks like Na'Vi might have scraped this one together. This kill will confirm it. Zeus, you've got to hit those. A little bit awkward for him, as he does have backup now. The bomb goes down. He should be absolutely fine to win this round at least. Can they make it clean, though? As Freiburg commits towards the van. And he gets the kill on Zeus at the same time. 3 versus 1. Mertz still capable of winning this, believe it or not, but this might be a little bit too awkward now. Has to do something unbelievable with the AWP. Hits the shot on Electronic and indeed on Edward. This is actually looking good for him. One more will do it. 1 versus 1. He drops the Molotov. He's already delivered some amazing performances so far on this particular map. He can get the bomb planted. He's planted for sure. This is so bold by him. It goes down. He's expecting Electronic to actually rotate around. He puts himself in safety. Electronic now such low HP. This would be another mammoth clutch from the big man Mertz if he can do it. Looking for his 28th frag. He is going to check towards short eventually. Can he land it? He actually now knows where he is. This will be it. Wait for the roar. He hits the shot, but he can't do it. So close. Respect to Mertz there. He gave it everything he had. It shouldn't have been possible to even get that bomb down, let alone 2 kills, and tag Electronic as well. Great scenes here. That's why we love CSGO in general, Trace. Those sort of moments, had it landed, this place would have just erupted. But, couldn't quite get over the finish line. You can't be too disappointed with that one. He got the bomb down. He kept them incredibly modest in terms of the financial situation, as now presumably going to a tactical timeout.
He did everything that was asked of him and more in that situation. A sharpshooter really putting down the pain on Navi, making them really second guess what it is that they were going to do in that situation. A 3v1, almost spinning around and all the way around, Henry. I mean, all the way right round.
That was crazy. I really thought he had it. The fact he plants towards short as well.
Yeah.
I think he assumed he rotated around and then he could get towards short, but then once he got the information, he'd already tagged him as well. I thought it was a done deal. Not quite. Really exciting stuff there, and that's just a little insight to esports for you, ladies and gents who are here around the octagon. That's what we all play for. That's the passion.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly. Those sort of moments there, and you can see true skill. And I can assure you, these guys have put in, some of them up to 10,000 hours racked up in this one video game, dedicated their life to it, to get themselves in this position where they're salary professional players, and it's a full-time job. This is no hobby.
Yeah. And those are just those are just hours clocked within the game itself. Yeah. Not to mention all of the hours put in outside of the game that are not accounted for.
Sure.
And what should be accounted for in this round is the fact that Navi have elected to go with the double op setup. Flamey picking up that second one, Simple with the first. Now trying to stop Heroic in their tracks on the backs of what could have definitely turned out to be a disaster for them last round. Navi trying to stay alive here, trying not to let this one go to a third map or much less overtime. They want to end the hopes and dreams of Heroic right here, and they're going to need this round to even begin to do that. They need to break the back here of Heroic. Zeus pushed up very far in these halls, and he's going to have some contact here very soon. Almost boots that one. Takes the second one, though, and is eventually traded out by Blame. So he does his job. He gets 2, he's done. And now Asilian, with the backstab looming, is definitely in position to do some serious damage here onto this Navi lineup.
Is he, though?
But Flamey says, not today, sir. The second shot of the op coming in from Simple onto Blame. It's now up to Mertz. He did it last round, almost. And this could be the round that he actually seals the deal. He's going to plant for Cat again, but I don't think that he's going to be getting away with it this time.
I think you might be right there, surrounded. If he had a little bit more wiggle room there, could have got it done. You can see the odds coming in, provided by GG.Bet here, our esports bookmaker, actually favoring Heroic somewhat. Let me tell you, Navi are one of the most tenacious teams historically within CSGO. They can make these comebacks happen. They can make these 4 spies work. We've seen what they're capable of with the Desert Eagles, but now a couple of rounds under their belt, all they need to do is break Heroic financially, and they can still close this out in regulation. It is not done just yet. 14-12, and we're up against the CZ PD50s. That should be 14-13. I say that with bated breath.
Yeah, should be, but with the way this game works, you never really know, do you, Henry? In fact, in this moment, the Pistols could reign supreme, but they're going to be stopped short there trying to push that connector. He's going to get shot in the back, though. Unfortunately, the angle simply did not work out. Edward finding 2. Zeus coming in as well. It's now down to Asilian and Freiberg. And Flamey can't ring that shot in. Fortunately, Simple can. And Zeus mops it up to clean that round up. 13-14, Navi scraping themselves back in this, clawing it back in. Nail-biting experience here at the GG.Bet Ice Challenge in London. If you're just joining us, you picked a very opportune time as the show has heated up.
It certainly has, Trace. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the bookend now, the second map. Navi already won under their belts. If they can get to 16 first, they're the team in blue right now, they will actually close this out and get to the grand final. Heroic looking to take us to a third map as they actually still have the lead, but they've lost a couple in a row now. This is Mertz, the star AWPer from Denmark. Started his rookie season last year in 2018. He's been getting better and better as the days go by, looking to become a household name in terms of the sniper division of CSGO. We'll see what can be done here. For the first time we see the double AWP setup on the CT side. And
this battle with the AWPs here in Halls should prove to be a very vicious one. Both of these players really come into their own when they do have the specifically Simple, having a proven track record with it, and Mertz is on fire today, having the AWP as well. You can see how tight that angle is that he's holding. And the team's going to try to group up. Perhaps they commit to this B hit. They do have full time on the clock. They have a full minute to play with here. and just enough utility to get themselves out here on this site. That smoke is going to prove to be the very roadblock that Na'Vi needs to kind of push them back at this point. And, you know, Simple can almost feel them lurking on the other side of the smoke. Those nades are going to prove it. Simple finds one on the S-Tag. He's going to repeat, go for the second one, gets punished by Freiburg, and now it's all up to Zeus here, hiding up on the catwalk. Does look like they're going to fall back, though. A full traverse over to the other site. This is going to be a mess, Henry.
The fact that Zeus throws that incendiary, they know they've been rumbled. They have to just try and fall back at that point. Electronic can read it. His aim has been stellar today. Can he provide in this situation? Everything on the line. He only gets one. The spray from Zeus, it doesn't connect. It had to there. And now Edward can save the day. It goes down to the 1 versus 1. And Mertz and Flamey up against it. AWP's in hand. Flamey, he hits the shot, and the bomb will not go down.
My goodness.
They keep themselves alive here and deny map point. It will be Na'Vi funneling them back to B. And yes, I have to point out Zeus there, because the fact he funnels them back towards A with that one incendiary, they were ready to pile in towards the bomb site there. They had everything ready. The smokes were down, the flashes were there, time was ticking away. As soon as the incendiary was dropped, they knew the rotations were coming. They had to change their mind, make their way back towards A, and Na'Vi knew it. It was a very scrappy exchange, but now Na'Vi looking to post series point first, grand final point, as they're up against the Pistols here.
And that could have been a very different round all the way through to the end. Mertz definitely could have had the opportunity to see him there. For some reason did not. And ultimately that round did go the way of Na'Vi. A tie ball game here, ladies and gentlemen, at the GG.Bet Ice Challenge in London. 14-14. Big round here for either team. Fiscally speaking, Heroic not in the better here. This Na'Vi wiped them away one by one. Mertz the only player left. 47 HP and a Deagle. He almost did it a few rounds ago with AWP, and I think this would be way too much to ask for. 15 rounds for Na'Vi. Now, if you're joining us in the arena today, if you're crowded around the octagon, it's 16 to win here. And as it stands, we're going to see a full-on commitment to the purchasing power of what Heroic can do in this round. As they're going to have to buy out, hold on to everything they got. If you're sitting at home, hold on to your armchairs, because this one has turned into a little bit of a roller coaster. And if there's one thing Simple knows, roller coasters, I can prove that.
I never want to get off this ride, Trades. This is really, really good CS to watch. The skill level being displayed right now is off the charts. This is what it's all about as we go into round number 30. Heroic need to win this one to take us to overtime. Everything gets reset at that point. Essentially, it goes 0-0, but they have got a disadvantage. One player on the UMP, the AWP Mertz, has been stifled as they get themselves ready for the A split here. The bomb at the top of middle, and we're going to have S-Tag working through that underpass. CTs with a heavy focus towards the A bomb site. You can see it will just be, I believe, Zeus alone in that B bomb site. That is a risk. If they do decide to head back towards that bomb site, could all fall apart. But it looks like the A focus and the stack here from Na'Vi could work out. They've got the 4 orgs. They've obviously got a bit of utility left over as we hit the 1 minute mark here.
Yeah, very crucial round here. Any sort of mistake, any sort of misstep, misclick, and missed sound cue is going to cost big time here. 15-14. That bomb has worked its way up Cat. Looks like it's going to be Zeus there to sort of anchor that B site with help from Edward. And the crossfire is a little dicey, to say the least.
Yeah.
The crunch is going to come in on the B side, Henry. And the Molotov's going to come out again from Zeus, trying to hold off this offense as long as he can as we approach that 30-second mark.
We'll see what can be done here. Zeus needs a couple of frags. The rotations just aren't there. It's up to Edward and Zeus to try and hold this one off. The B bomb site has always been an issue as it goes into the 5 versus 3. Blame F, the new signing, manages to find both kills here, and they have to go for it. There's no saving here. It's the final round. It looks like overtime is guaranteed. They couldn't find a single kill there, and that's always going to be the problem. The B bomb site has been notorious for Na'Vi. That's where Zeus will play, and it's considered the weaker part of the map. They make their way in with almost no contact there from the CTs. Can Simple dig them out of this hole? He's got the AUG. He has to work quickly, and he's starting to find the headshots now. Mertz will answer back, and it looks like it's still a guaranteed victory, and we're going to overtime. Flamey will be able to do nothing about it, and we're all reset, and this point is just all formality.
It's all, at this point, it's all done and dusted. We're going to OT here at the IceBet Challenge. Na'Vi on the brink of finding themselves in the grand final, but Heroic have definitely had something to say about that as they force overtime here. 15-15 if you're just joining us. Very opportune time to get involved here. Go ahead and jump on social media, mainly Twitter. Use the @ GG.Bet official. Go ahead and tweet at us your thoughts about this matchup. There's a good chance you could see it live on stream right in front of you. Can't make any promises, but my goodness, I'm not even sure what you would tweet right now, Henry.
Just how much you're enjoying the game and just the excitement and skill being displayed right now. It has been an absolute roller coaster. It was Na'Vi looking like they were indestructible in the first half, getting a great amount of rounds on the board. It looked like it was enough. Then all of a sudden they couldn't get going at all in the second half. Their CT side was falling apart. They got on their feet there. They won some huge rounds, some back-to-back clutch victories with Eco wins with the Deagle as well. Flamey, that one round with a double kill towards short sticks out of my mind. It comes right down to round number 30. They had to find a couple of kills there in the B bomb site. It was Zeus and Edward in the crossfire. As you pointed out, it wasn't looking too ideal. They didn't have much utility. They had the Orcs there and couldn't back it up with the aim. As Blame F, like I said, the new signing, is making a big name for himself this tournament as he continues to show us how proficient he can be with the AK-47. Well, here we go. It's 16K MR3. It's first to 19. If it goes 18-18, we do it all over again, and they'll stay on the same side they were in regulation.
I want to point out Mertz going into this overtime, ending regulation with 34 frags, definitely doing everything he has to do to put the hurts down here on Na'Vi right now, Henry.
Absolutely so, but it's simple to strike first. Still find Freiburg towards middle, but that B bomb side, we said it's an issue for this Na'Vi squad. Zeus goes down with nothing, but Simple's still there. Mertz, his barrel's been spotted. Simple fires off a shot. That's their cue to come round. And Edward now left defenseless, but he's still finding the shots. The Org raining down terror from the B bomb side as he gets himself into a 3 versus 2. It's Mertz and Ascidian stuck in the B apartments at this point. They have got time, but nothing really to work with until Mertz can open this site up for them.
That's right. Ascillion and Mertz here trying to get into this bomb site and get it going. They need to get the bomb down at the very least. Plenty of time to work with. But they're not going to be able to work it very much there. Mertz falling to Flamey. And that AWP has proven to be useful in his hands. Ascillion now with a big dream in mind. Can't even seem to kick it off in the right way. And this first round of overtime going in the way of Na'Vi. You can take a look at the odds right there, brought to you by GG.Bet. Get deeper and deeper and deeper.
Well, it's the first and very important round going in favor of Na'Vi there. And it's actually Edward who, after not able to find a kill in that 30th round, he gets 2 with the Auger on the B side. Very impactful kills there, made up for the lack of frags before as he takes him into the lead. Simple deploys that incendiary to block any smokes going towards the window initially as they set up an A execution here. This will be all 5 players heading towards the bomb site here. Going to be smoking towards spawn, jungle, steps, molotoving shadow, and then in towards sandwich potentially as well. The idea is to flash over and catch CTs by surprise, but they've got a face-up position there. They're ready. They want to bait in the players at A-ramp. Flamey nails a shot, trying to set up electronic here, and it's just him hitting the shots. Can he get a third? Woo! My goodness, Flamey, he is good with that AWP. As we go into a 3-on-2 now, Ascillion and S-Tag once again to try and pick up the pieces.
Yeah, Flamey doing just enough there, getting all 3 of those kills. Edward getting the 4th. And closing the round out will be Zeus, but Flamey taking a page out of S-Tag's book, getting close and making it uncomfortable there on the A-ramp. He certainly did more than was asked for him.
Again, that position not working out. People are trying to set that corner up, but it's just not happening. But Flamey, the secondary AWP, technically not known to be a flashy AWP, but he can wield the weapon at some times, and he looks fantastic in that round. That's really exciting stuff. The third shot especially to nail the headshot. He really has impressed me today and shown some top draw form here. It's been really cool stuff as we'll see Na'Vi. Nice to see them taking a tactical pause after winning 2 rounds as well.
Yeah.
They want to guarantee they can put the final nail in the coffin here, get the 3-0, and look to book themselves a place in the grand final against North, who are waiting there already after successfully making their way through the upper bracket.
But again, this Na'Vi T side has shown its promise. It's shown the fact that they can get in here and really do some damage. But then when it comes down to flipping over to the CT side, it's sort of kind of lackluster, and I mean, I think I contribute a lot of those problems over there towards the B side, as you said. It's been a rough ride over there. They've not found the rhythm and the groove that they need to sort of lock that site down in the manner that they should. We're going to be jumping into this round here.
Simple's just a note. He's left himself a rifle in CT spawn as well, so he can fall back. If he has to rotate towards B, have the option to pick up the M4 as well. This boost is incredibly cool, but the communication seems a bit off. What are you up to, boys? Okay, it's going to be Edward to go up. But that's fine. They do get it in position eventually. It's just now it was a bit awkward in actually getting it established. Smoke's starting to dissipate now. They need to be careful of the underpass here. They actually might be a little bit exposed. It's tactical timeout. They've given this boost to go. If they get 1 kill and retreat safely, I'll be impressed. But this is actually getting a bit scary for them now.
So close right here, and they've just got to feel that they're in mid. Edward and Electronic doing their duties here. Finding that third kill at the top lane is Edward doing it big there, taking him out in underpass. S-Tag falls. Freiburg, you're going to have to do something special here, buddy.
That was wild from Edward. His last few rounds have been excellent there. The boost, it was scrappy and clumsy to begin with. And my God, did they stick the landing on that one. Excellent work, and it's going to be a 4 versus 1. Freiburg, wow, not going to hit his shot. He wouldn't have won the round anyway. Doesn't matter, but there it is. It's the 3-0 for Na'Vi. Look how this round panned out. Yeah, he gets his goal. This is a wonderful shot, just to know. Great stuff to take down BlameF in that 1v1. How he's got the presence of mind to actually be aware of that shot towards underpass and take it down so cleanly as well is impressive.
I think Edward's been playing Counter-Strike for roughly 200 years consecutively now. So give or take a few years there on the equation. Na'Vi looking to seal this one out with the 4th as they do switch sides. If you're joining us in the arena, very exciting time to get involved.
Absolutely. One more round will do it for Na'Vi. You can see the odds there at the bottom of your screen. It's not looking too good for Heroic. This next round could be the end of them. They need a 3-0 themselves just to stay in the tournament. Na'Vi pick up one round now. They'll be able to book themselves a place in the grand final, and this series will be over. The third map, if required, I'm not sure it will be at this particular stage, is Inferno.
Yes.
And it's going to take such a deep dig from Heroic in general to even get anywhere near it. We'll see what they can do. The fact that Edwards come online in such an astonishing manner towards the bookend of this map suggests it should be done. We'll see what happens here. Like we said, one round to close it out. Na'Vi head towards middle, and Flamey feeling confident with the AWP and the decent spawn. He spots towards window, but Mertz, he'll take him down.
That's right, Mertz opening the round up, putting Flamey in his place. And that would be on the ground there, taking out AWP out now, so unless perhaps they can grab it from top mid, they don't necessarily need to. Simple going for this AK buy, the normal AWP player that you would see. And they do have mid control, but Asilian being in that window room, they're gonna have to re-smoke it and hope that either A, he doesn't find some way to one-way that one outward, or B, he just catch them off guard. Edward trying to get this crossfire onto the connector here. Simple as well. Blame having all the shot in the world. I talked about one ways, and it looks like Blame is going to find the one there onto Edward. This round has crumbled for Na'Vi. They get it picked apart piece by piece.
Well, it's a clean start there from Heroic. It's BlameF especially, who was trying to prove that he can stay in this map. He's going to need 2 more rounds after this, but it couldn't be better at this point. Money not really a factor. These kills don't really contribute towards anything in a 16K environment, especially when all that's available to him will be a couple. But BlameF, he'll get his 4th, and there it is. The start of a long journey for Heroic. Now 2 rounds required to get us into double overtime. Certainly possible. It sounds like a difficult task, but Na'Vi's T-sides haven't been fantastic this tournament either. Getting one through the smoke and then finishing up with 4 kills in total. This round was already done at this point. He was just playing for style towards the end, as we'll see them take maybe another bit of a pause. You can see them discussing their options and working out how they can actually seal the deal here and get to double overtime. The double AWP seems to be where they want to be positioned. S-Tag has impressed with the snipers this tournament as Mertz gets set up once again. No smoke to block vision so far, and will that be rectified? As indeed it does, dropping the incendiary towards the underpass as he repositions. Simple
with the AWP this round instead of Flamey. Bodes to have a different tone as we look to dive deeper into it. Round having just started. Set up in quite the default here from Na'Vi. Heroic putting a little bit of emphasis there on that connector control. Meanwhile, 2 players over there towards B. And the first kill ringing out loud. Simple loses the op duel to Mertz. And he's definitely made his presence known in this matchup, in this tournament, and overall in this round. Flamey now with the trade. It's 4v4, even strength. S-Tag falls to his AK. Blame gonna fall as well. This one's starting to come apart at the hinges, Henry.
It certainly is. Like we said, one more round will do it. They currently have the 4-on-3 advantage. 50 seconds remain. Mertz has hit pretty much every shot available to him. That one no different, but he doesn't find the killing blow. He will tag out Flamey, but it's been traded out, and I think we might be done here, ladies and gentlemen. One more kill, and that's against Asilian, who currently sits towards the underpass. I think we know where this is heading. North already in the grand final, and it looks like Na'Vi will be joining them. It will take something absolutely godlike from Asilian to close this one out. It's not going to happen. And finally, we're seeing a clean 2-0 from Na'Vi. Sure, the second map went to overtime, but they're looking like their old selves at this point, and we're seeing some glimmers of past glories.
Yeah, you say clean, but the reality is, too, that they have a lot of glaring flaws, at least here that we saw in Mirage. We talked about some of the downfalls of holding this B site on their CT side. They're definitely things that they're going to have to work on, at least going to the grand finals, if not the major in the coming weeks.
Sure.
But for Heroic, they are out, and unfortunately, that is the end of the road here. Having shown a strong face here, though. I really think they made a good case for themselves. A lot of names to be mentioned there. But ultimately, these guys will be shaking hands right in front of us. Kind of cool WWF vibe here. I kind of like that.
Yeah, excellent
and that guy's
stuff.
actually in the WWF. So.
That's true. I have to say, Heroic can keep their heads held high here. They've come into this one with this lineup being together for 2 weeks. They had a 1-week boot camp here. Yeah. Remember, they beat Na'Vi in the opening best of 3 of this tournament. They've got a lot of notes to take away from this one. It was more of a litmus test to see where the team's at right now. And I think everyone can say they're thoroughly impressed with Heroic and what this project has potential to do in the future. It seems like they've got a great family vibe here. Everyone's contributing. Everyone's at a level peg. And hopefully they can keep developing as the year develops. We'll see them maybe at the next major.
Now I'm looking at Mertz right in the eye. He's looking at me, looking at him, looking at me, and he's smiling because he knows he can't hang his head low. He had a hell of a performance here.
He did.
Put up some incredible numbers, even in regulation, ending out the half, and the game in over 30 kills in regulation. Done more than was asked of him.
Absolutely.
And like you're saying, Henry, there is a lot of promise to be shown here, and I think given time, these guys could be on the right path now, given everything considered. But considering everything, we do have another element to this show. It's Mr. Matthew Trivett, and we do believe he has conjured a member of Na'Vi. It's going to be Flamey with the interview.
If you didn't get that one, he's actually standing right beside you. It would have been hard for you to get it wrong. But Flamey is here. Look, Na'Vi's not doing it the easy way. You finally get a 2-0 in this event. Finally get to the grand final, where ultimately you should have been from the beginning, everyone expected. And it still took overtime. It wasn't perfect, but did it feel a little better today? Was the communication better?
Yeah, much better than it was yesterday, but we lost some crucial economic rounds in City, so they went ahead of us, and we need to do some small comeback. And after they were leading like 13-10, we decided to change the positions back to how we played before. Like before we did a swap with short and A, and after we changed, we took almost every round, and the defense was much better.
Did you guys actually make that change based on, yesterday AVANGAR on Mirage? They bullied B. They were all over Zeus. The rotation seemed to be a little off. They seemed to hold mid a little bit against you guys. And so you guys adapted, but then changed back today.
Yeah, it's the main problem for us is connector, and electronics plays much better than any other player. So we lost against AVANGAR on City and we're losing now, and we changed electronic back to connector, and it worked. And but I don't know. It's like it's some random a lot on City. It's more economic. You lost one crucial round, and then you can like lose 5 or 6 rounds because of that.
Yeah, I think that showed even on Train when you guys had the lead. There was a 5-round spread where on the T side it was tough to get back into. Train looked sharp. You get the 2-0. North had to travel here from, you guys are quite a ways from the venue actually. You're more central London, and we're out at the Royal Docks now. They wouldn't have had a chance to be warming up for the last 40 minutes or so. Obviously they'll jump on now and do that, but do you guys think you have an advantage where you've just played a match going into the final?
I think it's a bit advantage because we like warmed up already and they didn't warm up. But we woke up at 7, so we didn't sleep well. They sleep well. Maybe that is better for them. So we will see.
All right, well, we will see. Congratulations getting to the final. It's what was expected. It does sort of erase some of the issues if they pull this off, if you guys can pull this off. But it's up against North, our grand final coming up. Best of 3. It'll be just after this break.